Let's turn to a fourth issue. Many Democratic members of this committee seem to be treating this hearing as a policy hearing on what's good healthcare policy, what's good gun policy, what's good voting rights policy. Judge Barrett, in your view, is it the responsibility of a federal judge to implement policy positions that they might happen to agree with?
That's your job, not a judge's.
I very much agree with you. You know, it's easy for someone watching these proceedings to assume both sides want the same thing, just on opposite partisan lines. It's easy for someone watching to assume, well, the Democrats, they want Democrat judges to implement their policy, and the Republicans, they want Republican judges to implement their policy. As easy as that is to assume, I don't believe that is accurate. It is certainly not accurate with respect to the sorts of judges I would like to see nominated and confirmed. And I'll give you an example of that. An issue that I am deeply passionate about is school choice. I think school choice is the civil rights issue of the next century. But I also think the right arena to fight for school choice is right here in the United States Senate. The right arena to fight for school choice is in the state legislatures. It is in the politically accountable elected legislatures. So, do I want to see a federal court issue an order mandating school choice across the country? It might be simpler if I could just convince 5 justices to order every jurisdiction in America, you must have school choice. It would be a lot easier than trying to convince 51 or 60 senators, trying to convince the House. We've gotten school choice legislation passed through this body that I've introduced, but it's been hard fought. It'd be much easier if 5 philosopher kings could just mandate it. But that would not be an appropriate judicial role. And I'm certainly not asking Judge Barrett to issue any ruling, although I believe that policy is the right policy. It's not a judge's role to mandate it. Interestingly enough, our Democratic colleagues do support judges prohibiting it. If you look at a case called Zellman versus Simmons-Harris, that was a case that was a challenge to Ohio's school choice program. Ohio's school choice program gave scholarships to thousands of low-income children, mostly African-American and Hispanic children, trapped in failing schools. It gave them hope. It gave them a chance at a decent education, a chance to escape violence, a chance to have a shot at the American dream. It was immediately challenged. The case went to the Supreme Court, and by a vote of 5-4, the Supreme Court upheld the program. 4 justices were prepared to strike down that program as unconstitutional, and with it, every other school choice program in America. To rule that the Constitution doesn't let the elected legislatures decide to give scholarships to kids if they choose to go to a religious institution. As far as I'm concerned, that's a radical and activist position. 4 justices were ready to shut down school choice programs all across the country. That's an example of how one side wants the court to mandate their policy outcomes. The other side does not. I don't want school choice mandated. I want it to be left to the political process.